Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am sporting this lovely blue, which I thought would match my lips better, but it doesn't, so don't come for me. But I'm sporting this lovely blue sweater because it's Rego merch. This lovely, lovely sweater featuring the Different is Beautiful design with my lovely, lovely Rego on it was made by the awesome Starry Page Art, also known as Scaly Gems on Instagram, and it is out right now for you to get. So if you want to show Rego some love, and you want to show me some love, and you want to show the channel some love, and all the other animals some love, and you also want to get some super cute Rego merch at the same time, then go ahead and check it out. It is in the links below. As you may have seen by the title, in today's video you guys are going to get to meet my new Crested Gecko, relatively new. He's already been here for 2 months, but I'll get to that. His name is Rōshi. I first saw Rōshi on Craigslist in, I would say, like early mid-June, and I reached out to his former owner and I said, I'm super interested in your Crested Gecko, and they said, that's great, I'm rehoming him because I'm more into snakes, and I was like, I'm more into geckos, so I can understand that. So they liked Rōshi, but they wanted to rehome him because they liked snakes more and had more of an interest in them. So I said, great, I'm down. We figured out shipping and he shipped to me. Now there was one issue when it came down to shipping. Not a serious issue. I mean, it would have been more serious had something bad gone wrong, but it didn't. You'll see in the clip where I show me unboxing him. So I'm going to go ahead and show that, and then I'm going to come back to talk about Rōshi a little bit, just describe his personality, and then we're going to do an enclosure tour. Hello everyone, so as you can see, there's a little bit of mess behind me, some reptile bowls and stuff over there, and then some old enclosures over there. Those are actually Aaron's Crested Gecko enclosures. His geckos have all been upgraded. Hi Jackson. And then the bowls behind me are just a bunch of supplies that have been sitting in the closet for like years that I never used, but I got in situations of like rehoming and stuff, so I want to sell them on Craigslist. Anyways, right now I am opening up a Crested Gecko box, or a box with a Crested Gecko in it. I'm very nervous because he's a whole day late, so he stayed in this box a whole day longer than I would have liked and that I paid for. So his previous owner dropped him off too late at the FedEx facility, and so he wasn't picked up until the next night. So, but he's still alive. Oh, he poo-pooed big time, but he's still alive. He poo-pooed big time. Also, he's not on a paper towel. Okay, hold on, little one. Let me get a paper towel so we can clean up that poo-poos. So this gecko came from a situation of rehoming, and Aaron got him for me for my birthday. Come here. Here we go. Nasty. Look, he managed to cram his poop up into the lid. I don't know how. Oh, it stinks in there. You poor thing. Here, come here. Come here. Sit still. I know. You probably reek. Yeah. Anyway, this is him. Beautiful boy. I'm so sorry that you pooped in there and there was no paper towel and then you just had to sit in your feces. Like, that's horrible. Oh, it reeks. Yes, I'll be washing my hands, trust me. But look at him. He's just a little cute. He's just a little cute, huh? Yeah. Yes, he's so cute. You're cute. How you doing? Oh, you just a handsome little boy. Yes, you are. Look at the way he's like standing and facing down. What are you looking at? I bet you're happy to get out of that box. That reeks. You're a pretty calm dude, huh? Look how pretty he is. He literally looks like a chocolate chip cookie. Like, he's like the brown color of a cookie with the chocolate chips. You look like food. Although you smell not like food. Smell like a sewer. I don't know why the person wouldn't have put paper towel on the bottom. It's really gross. And I don't know why they would have left you overnight there instead of just taking you home and shipping you the next day. But you're here now. That's what matters. You pretty boy. We gotta find a good name for you. You're my first boy, Crested Gecko, and you're just so pretty. So what are we gonna call you? We need a pretty boy name that starts with R and is named like after a character. Because I have Ree, and she's a character in Winter's Bone, played by Jennifer Lawrence. And I have Rue, who is a character played by, oh, I don't know her name. But she, I think her name's Willow, actually. Maybe. But she was in the Hunger Games. She's more named after, like, the book character than the movie character anyway. But it doesn't really matter, it's the same character. So what are we gonna name you, pretty boy? We could name you after Roy Mustang from FMA, Full Metal Alchemist. We could do that. Look at that eyeball lick. Or we could name you... This is hard. You're a hard one to... Hard cookie to crack? Hard nut to crack? What is the phrase? I don't know. We'll figure it out though. We'll figure out a name. Oh my god, he just jumped onto the tripod. That's a good aim for you. You got the tripod. You almost got Jackson's head. He'd have freaked out. That wouldn't have been good. So we have Ree, Rue. I always wanted to name a gecko Rin, but I want to save it for a girl. I was going to get a gecko named Reese, but I don't want to use that name because it was a name I intended for a different gecko that I'm not getting anymore. Who else? Roy. There's Roy Mustang, but I think of Roy from The Office too, and he was lame. You're pretty calm, especially for having just spent a day and a half at a box. More than a day and a half. Hello. We'll think of a name for him. I'm gonna go put him in his enclosure. So there you have it, that's my Rōshi, and he has been one of the more interesting crested geckos that I have. So I currently have Ree and Rue. I've had Ree since June 1st, 2014, and I've had Rue since earlier this year, although I had been planning to get her since last year, so it feels like I've had her for a lot longer. Rue is a crested gecko that has MBD. Ree is a crested gecko that was rehomed to me as a pet only because she was a really slow grower. But Rōshi is just a situation of rehoming. He doesn't actually have anything wrong with him. And it's been interesting to see the differences in all of their personalities. So Ree is super secretive, doesn't want to be bothered. Rue is kind of like that as well. Rōshi is not like a shy secretive. He's like a flighty secretive, but he's not an aggressive flighty. So really what it comes down to for him is every night that I go to spray down their enclosures or feed them, he's out exploring. I mean, this gecko moves. Like, I hear him every night just like thumping around in his enclosure, which I'm kind of used to because Ree does that, but like he amplifies it. So I can hear him just really getting around in that enclosure and having a good time. And that's why I kind of catered his enclosure to him. So I'll talk about that more in the enclosure tour in a second. But it's been really neat to have one, my first boy crested gecko, because my other two are girls, and two, to have one that is really energetic. Like, my other two crested geckos are completely normal crested geckos. Like, they move around, they engage with their environment, but Rōshi likes to fly. Like, he likes to jump, he likes to climb. He's very energetic. Fortunately, he hasn't shown any aggression. That's something I worry about whenever I get a crested gecko, because like some of them tend to be a little nippy. Not often you'll find that, but sometimes it happens. So I was just like a little nervous he might be nippy, but he wasn't, thankfully. Oh, and I named him Rōshi because I like my arboreal geckos to have R names, and his name previously was Yoshi, so I just dropped the Y, added an R, and it makes sense because there's a character in Naruto called Rōshi, and I like to name all of my animals after characters, whether it be from anime or Game of Thrones or Harry Potter or just various movies. And so Rōshi, Naruto character, and it worked out perfectly. And I love walking up to his enclosure and going, Rōshi! Like, I love saying that to him, like almost like Rōshi, but like, I don't know, I'm weird. I have songs for my geckos and like little cute nicknames and stuff. Like, this is Marcella's enclosure, and I have a whole song dedicated to her, so every time I see her, I sing to her. Same thing for Benjamin, he has a song for him as well. I've talked about that on Twitter. I'm a weirdo. Anyways, so it's been an absolute delight to have Rōshi, and I got to build an enclosure like catered to his level of energy. And so I left the very front of the enclosure like pretty open, but it's also like really dense in the back, so there's plenty of places to hide. He likes to hide on the ground, so I made sure to incorporate a lot of ground cover. Anyways, I'll just get into the tour. So I was gonna do a traditional enclosure tour, but I can't like get a good focus of the entire enclosure because it's so long and skinny, so I figure I'll just like hold it in my hand and let you guys see. I'm just going to give a brief overview of the enclosure because I'm going to do a more in-depth tour of all my crested gecko enclosures down the road when they're all finished. But this one is Rōshi's, and that's why you're seeing it in his welcome home video. So I'm going to add Rōshi later on tonight when he's awake. Right now he is sleeping, so I don't want to bother him. But I wanted to show the enclosure while the lights were still on. So this is a bioactive 20-gallon long standing upright. It is complete with a drainage layer, which you can't even really see. Here, let's see if I can. So here's the drainage layer. Then we have ABG mix by Josh's Frogs, and then we have some organic topsoil and sphagnum moss. We have a Dracaena, and as usual I will include all of the species names of the plants down below. We have a coconut house down here. We have a piece of driftwood here, and then matching driftwood here and here. I actually collected these off the beach years ago and never used them, and just now decided to put them in this enclosure. The two pieces back here are affixed to the expanding foam background and the potting cups that are right here. So we've got one here, and we've got one here. And then behind that there is cork bark in the expanding foam, which you can see here. There's also cork bark here, and it's actually holding a philodendron, like there's a philodendron potted into it because it was more round than flat. And then this is a Marble Queen Pothos. That is a, shoot, I can never remember if this is called a Joy Pothos or I don't know, but like I said, I'll include it down below. I always get this one mixed up with another one because they're both small leaved, but I absolutely love the little pothos. I think it's so cute, and it matches this one, so that's why I have them both next to each other. And then oh, he has his house up here. It's a coconut house that I just affixed to the background and the wall with expanding foam, and then covered it in dirt and moss to make it look like it's part of the enclosure. I actually added this after the fact, which is why it kind of looks like it doesn't belong, but then I realized I didn't have a hide up there, and then when I tried to hang it like with like the little piece of twine that it came with, I thought it was ugly. So I decided to add expanding foam and all that jazz after the fact, and then of course here it is now, completed. Like I said, I will go into more detail down the road, but this is the entirety of the enclosure. It's actually been established for over a month now, aside from this right here, and then of course I just added this ledge for feeding. But otherwise the plants have been in here for quite some time, especially the Dracaena and the Marble Queen. They've been in longest. This one's a relatively new addition because I had a spider plant in here, but I actually tried giving Rōshi a spider plant and he destroyed it, so I had to give him something that was a little bit more strong, that could withstand his weight and his activity. He's a very active gecko, which is why I decided to have it pretty open and not like, there's plenty of places to hide, sure, but it's not as concealed as some of the other enclosures I plan to build, because Rōshi just likes to fly around his enclosure. It's hysterical. So let me give another overview. We've got this coconut hide here with the expanding foam. Got cork bark background and expanding foam. Philodendron planted into the cork bark with ABG mix. Then he has a feeding ledge. He's got multiple pieces of wood that has been properly cleaned and treated. Don't worry. Like I said, I've had it for years, and I cleaned it years ago, and it's just been sitting in a box in my pet room closet. Then we have 2 planting cups that are part of the background because they have been fitted with the expanding foam. And then we have a Marble Queen Pothos in one of them. We have, I think that's a Joy Pothos. Again, I'll keep it in the links below. And then we have a Dracaena down here in the bioactive soil. The bioactive soil has the ABG mix and the hydrogen or hydroballs drainage layer, as well as organic topsoil, sphagnum moss, and the cleanup crew is, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Springtails and dwarf red tropical isopods as usual. There's also a coconut hide down here, which is where I'm sure he's going to sleep because he loves sleeping on the floor. So this is the entirety of the enclosure. Yes, it has a door. The door is not on yet. It'll be on later when I add Rōshi into the enclosures. His enclosure is going to change in one way, which is I actually bought these really cool custom like acrylic doors for the front of the 20 gallons instead of using those like split down the middle mesh lids. So these will have to be siliconed on, so Rōshi will have to come out of his enclosure for 2 days and he'll be put in a temporary, and then he'll go back into that one, which should be fine because he's like literally not bothered by anything. He'll eat every single meal. He's not bothered by being moved. So fortunately I'll just move him really quick, put the door on. They're super cool. They're from I Heart Geckos. I can't recommend them yet because I haven't tried them out, but they do look really neat. I just got them in the mail on Monday, so I'm really excited to put that on. But other than that, his enclosure is completely done. Like I said, I'm going to go more in depth with his enclosure and my other Crested Gecko enclosures, which I'm currently working on right now, when I post a cumulative bioactive Crested Gecko enclosure tour. Speaking of enclosures, I have 4 Crested Gecko enclosures and 3 Crested Geckos. Now, the 20-gallon long standing upright that is vacant is not going to be vacant for long. In fact, I already have her, but she's not a Crested Gecko. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're on Patreon, or if you were in my friend Bridget's live stream last week, I actually mentioned it in that live stream, so you might already know. Please keep it a secret. Don't spoil it for anybody in the comments. You'll get to know in like 2 or 3 weeks time when she is out of quarantine, probably closer to 4 weeks actually, because I want to have her enclosure done before I show her off. So it'll be some time, but if you subscribe and hit that notification bell, then you'll be alerted. I'll just let you guys know that Aaron and I waited 3 years for her. Like, we waited 3 years to be able to have this type of gecko, and we're really, really excited. So that's all I'm gonna say about it for now. But she has an R name like my other arboreals. Aaron doesn't like her name right now, but he can get over it because that's her name, okay? He just has to live with it. Like, I'm not changing her name. If you guys are interested in seeing more of Rōshi, definitely be sure to check out the social media down below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, Rego merch, it's super cute. I'm in love with it. I just got one of the die cut stickers yesterday, and then I got the sweater a few days ago. Love it. I've been wearing it every single day. Don't judge me. It is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to get back to you. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!